Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the Queers of Time podcast.
I'm Matt.
I'm James.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Kat.
And this is a podcast to talk about all the gay stuff in the Wheel of Time.
Because we're gay and we like the Wheel of Time. As always, shout out to Lurks, our Feral Venerator, for the support. And also, we have a new Patreon, so shout out to Leith.
Well, today we're talking about one of God's biggest mistakes, other than Marjorie Taylor Greene and Narg the Daily Trolloc. This mistake happens to be the fact that we have to wait a whole year or more for the next episode of The Wheel of Time. Can you believe it? But in the meantime, we're here to fill that deep and tight void that is your longing. Today's episode is all about the spoiler-filled stuff. So where's the season 3 gonna go? Will Rand get him some Asmodeanusy next season? And how amazing is Ruidian going to look? Join us today to theorize on this and more on Queers of Time.
Well, technically, this is an episode to talk about the season 2 finally and all the spoiler element of it. Not really season 3.
Look.
But we'll have more episodes later on where we can theorize about season 3.
Yes, we absolutely will. I'm so excited. This is going great. This is good.
We are good. Look, I wrote an intro and it happened.
Yes, you did. And it was great.
Your intro was perfect. Don't worry about that.
Absolutely it was. Absolutely it was. Oh boy.
And technically we are already in the longing. So this is us filling that hole in our fandom's void.
Feeling the hole?
I don't know.
Okay.
Filling the hole.
2 hours ago, I was cutting some holes.
Okay. We're talking a lot about holes.
Look, Matt is tired.
I was pumpkin carving.
Oh, I see. Yes.
We're talking a lot about holes.
Yeah.
Title of the episode.
There we go. Jot that down.
For example, the holes in Matt's memory.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, way to tie it back. That still doesn't make sense in the show. That doesn't make sense in the books. It doesn't make sense in the show. How does blowing the horn make him remember something? I don't know how Alzheimer's works.
A mystery.
Sometimes a great blowjob is all you need.
Listen. That's the episode title.
Sometimes a great blowjob is all you need.
That's the episode title. That's a good option. That's good.
We are 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the episode, and we already have 2 titles.
Yeah, we're great. We're great.
I haven't had a title in a while, though. So
You haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you haven't been funny in a while, so that's fine.
My God.
There's not really a way to measure whether you're funny in a while when you're constantly funny. So, technically that's true.
True.
There we go.
So true. So true, Beth.
So
God,
true, Bessie.
fucking Gen Z.
Oh, no.
So yeah, I still don't understand how Matt's memories work in the show. I didn't expect to. It's fine.
I don't understand how they work in the books, so...
I was just going to say.
I don't understand how they work in the books either. He just has them.
They're just there, and there's kind of it's because of this. And I'm like, okay, but that still doesn't make sense.
Is it though? He went there and he said he wanted some memories or he wanted to remember stuff, and then he just remembers all of his past lives. And
then it's not even his past life.
Did he have them when he blew the horn of Valir? I don't know.
Donal sold it for me, though, so...
Yeah, I mean, at some point we have to admit it's a fantasy books. It's a fantasy show based on a fantasy books. So there's a bunch of things that's not going to make complete sense, and that's fine. So
no, this is a hard magic system.
Lol.
It needs to make
complete sense.
It's a hard...
It's not D&D. We are not rolling dices, okay?
Yeah, well, I wish we would.
We should play D&D. We should do a D&D.
I have no idea what's happening right now.
We should do a D&D one-shot one day.
D&D.
Anyway.
Dungeons and Dragons and Dykes and Dicks.
Hey.
That's quadruple D.
Yeah.
Life's hard for you, isn't it?
It is, and you don't make it easier.
Oh, no.
Okay, back to the topic.
What are we talking about? What do we want to talk about first?
We're talking about Matt because I wanted to talk about Genji.
Oh, yes.
Like since we're getting into spoiler, we may as well start with the big thing.
We might as well go 9-10 books ahead.
Yeah. Go all out.
Yeah, it's just because I keep seeing, like, that episode came out and I was like, oh, they're foreshadowing this thing, they're foreshadowing this thing. And then I went on Twitter and people were like, oh, so they are definitely cutting these things that I am thinking they're foreshadowing. So it's like within the fandom, there's this thing where sometimes we see elements in the show that reminds us of the books. And there's always this question, is it an Easter egg or is it foreshadowing? Because if it's foreshadowing, that means those events that we are thinking about in the books are going to happen. If it's an Easter egg, then it may just be like a wink for the book readers.
Right.
Which, I mean, sure, why not? I feel like a lot of the Easter eggs are actually more foreshadowing than Easter eggs in general. And I genuinely do not understand people thinking that the fox and snakes are going to be cut because...
Yeah.
One Easter egg is fine, but I have at least 7 different references to plot related to the snakes and fox and the Tower of Genji.
Yeah. I think they will be condensed because I think they kind of have to be. But like, I think it's one of those things that's too much. It's relevant in several ways for to be honest, different characters. It's relevant. And so it doesn't, I can't see how they would cut it. It's possible that they do, and it makes it work and whatnot. But yeah, I would be blown away if it was cut at this point. I agree. I think there's enough there that it's a decently safe bet that we'll be getting it at some point in later seasons.
And so, for people who want to keep count, so the element that I've seen in this season about Genji, like we saw 2 references to Matt's eye with like dream sequences or something like that, where Matt loses an eye. Matt gets hanged in the previous episode. We got Matt fake Ashandere this episode, and that's definitely not gonna be...
I'm sorry, his permanent usher in there.
Nobody is gonna allow Matt to keep the dagger. Let's be fucking real.
Maybe they will.
Someone disagrees with you.
I'm still not over that. Some opinions are just bad.
So there's the memories. There's the memories that we mentioned. We also got Lanfear eating Moraine.
Out of the way gate. Yeah.
Out of the way gate. We got the Dearest Swan, which could totally... The Dearest Swan could be an Easter egg. Could be like a fun thing. But like, I mean, at some point, there's too many things. Like...
Sometimes it's just a bottle of Dasani that the production crew forgot to take off the set.
That's right.
Oh, wait, was it Starbucks that Daenerys?
It was Starbucks. It was a cup of Starbucks. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I was like, what are you referring to?
I'm sorry.
And it was so, I love that it was so specific too. It's not just a bottle.
Yeah, it wasn't a water bottle. It was Dasani.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm having a struggle day. I knew that Daenerys was drinking something that does not exist in Westeros in season 8. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
No, I think the Finn are just like a really weird thing. So I can see why people would say that it's going to be difficult to pull them off, but I fully believe that they're going to happen. So I don't know. I get where they're coming from, but also like trust the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think the Finn might read better on screen than on like in print, because to be honest with you, I was confused with some like it took me a couple of like reading through it to get kind of what was happening, like to get the sort of ins and outs of it. I think it's gonna play better, and like it's just gonna it's gonna be another sort of weird element and like horror elements that the show can bring. And I feel like season 2 really kind of stepped into that sort of genre. And this is just gonna add to it, I think, you know?
Yeah. And I've seen a few people being like, I've seen people who genuinely love the Finns in the books being concerned, which is a bit weird to me. But also, it's just, Like, a lot of comments that I get is, oh, they're gonna cost too much. And
They're gonna what?
They're gonna cost too much, like loyal. I mean, they're just gonna do.
yeah, like, I don't see how that's partially costly.
It's gonna be regular prosthetics.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Even the Tower of Genji is just literally just playing with a set.
Yeah.
Like, oh, doors are moving. Yes, you're just moving a pan of sets. Like, I don't think it's partially complicated to do a very realistic and creepy,
I don't think so.
like, Tower of Genji. Like, there's horror movie everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Like-
they did a good job with Shadar Logoth, and that was in season 1 when they had, like, now granted, Shadar Logoth is not the same level of, like, there's more going on with the Tower of Genji, but I feel like they have the chops to pull it off because, like, you know.
I mean, the Shadar Logoth was just the Tarvalon set, right?
Yeah, which is crazy to me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, crazy to me.
I didn't know that.
It's the exact same
Yeah,
set.
it's so cool. Like, it's really cool. Yeah.
I think it's smart.
People, yeah, it is smart. People didn't notice, and that's great.
And so, like, I mean, you know, knock on wood, they're going to have even more of a budget when it comes time to get to the Tower of Genji.
They best.
better. And so they're going to be able to do some really cool things with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I think there was some set picture from someone visiting the set at some point. And I think in the background, there was some games showed off and someone zoomed in and literally found a snake and a fox on this game. And that's an Easter egg because while you're watching, you're not noticing that. But if they wanted to cut the snakes and fox, like, they wouldn't even bother putting that sort of detail in, in the set.
People dumb.
Maybe Tom can die in the Tower of Genji.
No, Tom isn't even going to go. It's going to be Swan. Don't put that energy out there.
Tom can go with Swan and Matt and be the one sacrificing himself.
Jane Barstrider.
Yeah, that is my hope.
Yeah, he's the one that sacrifices and dies.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I got a little heated.
I mean, it's at this point, genuinely, and this is no shade to people who enjoy Tom, I forgot that he existed. And then when people were talking about
okay, Taylor Swift.
I forgot he existed. I'm like, people were talking about, like, yeah, I can't wait to see. I can't remember the actor's name. The actor in season 3. I was like,
Alexander?
oh yeah,
Will Whom or something.
Yes, him.
Yeah.
When people are like, yeah, we're gonna see him in season 3, I was like, oh shit, that's I completely forgot.
He is going to be in season 3.
Yeah. I mean, that's great.
Oh.
I guess. Good.
I don't know what he's doing.
No clue.
So, is there anything else we have to say regarding Genji, or are we all...
I
No.
don't think so. I'm excited.
I think I'm good with Genji. I think it'll be later, much later. I think next season we're gonna get the maybe the Red Door Terangrial, or maybe there's gonna be another way that they access it. But I don't know. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see some appearance next season, but like the Genji itself is going to be late.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Second half, if not third, like fourth quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
It took you all a minute to make the math, to do the math.
Yeah. Listen, Camille, we've talked before. We are not math gays. You are the math gay.
You play D&D. Oh, are you not a math gay?
I am not a listen, I play D&D. We have a math person at the table, and anytime there needs to be addition or subtraction, I look at the math gay and they do the math or the addition or subtraction. See, I don't even know the words. There you go. I'm going to stop talking now.
Addition or subtraction.
Roll a d8 plus 8.
No, stop. I don't know what that is. Stop it.
Stop speaking in tongues.
That's the devil's language.
So, what do we want to go to move on next?
Should we leave the Forsaken for later?
I was about to say we can go to the Forsaken.
Can we talk about the because I want to talk about the Forsaken, but
Let's talk a little bit about a Forsaken Light and just talk about a Dark Friend with Ingtar.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Because they did cut that. There was a scene filmed, but it was cut. And I know exactly where it was because Ingtar just shows up with the horn and says, we had help, a lady from Kyrian. And I'm like, okay, cool. So Lanfear helped you. And in that scene, it was revealed you were a Dark Friend.
Yeah.
The end.
I'm fine.
I don't think there was enough buildup in the
I agree.
show for it to matter. So I'm glad it was cut.
Yeah, I don't care.
I agree. I'm sad that we didn't get the full arc of it. But I agree that it was not there wasn't enough that we saw in the show for it to have as much of an impact.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of setup with some of the things that he said to Perrin, but yeah, I don't even blame the show because it's the actor for Ingtar changed after season 1, so there was that, and also like with Matt leaving and being replaced. I think the original plan was to spend a lot more time with the Shannon, including Ingtar. And we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that because the plan for the whole season has to be like changed. And
right.
It is what it is. I think if any show viewer end up reading the books, the twist with Ingtar being a dark friend will be a nice reveal for them because the show does hint towards that. But it's not something that we need to spend time on within the show.
Yeah, there's too much else happening that's objectively way more important.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like, way more important.
I thought that Ingtar was Agelmar until like episode 3. So.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. That was a sentence. He's dead.
Agelmar is very dead.
I know, which I still think is dumb.
And her Ingtar too.
Well, I was gonna say something and I forgot now.
I have notes.
Go.
About Ingtar or about life?
Oh no. About next season.
Neither.
Oh no.
Oh.
About who?
About Rima.
Oh, okay, yes.
Like, I want to talk about that because I think Rima was not on the boat, and people are saying with their whole chests that she was, despite her not being on the boat. And yes, I realize that we didn't see every person on the boat, but come on, people.
There's no way she was on the boat.
She was not on the boat.
I hate to use the word, but I hate this word, but I'm going to say it. She has not been trained yet as a Damane, and it wouldn't make sense for them to bring her on the boat at that point. So, also, if season 3 is going to somewhat begin in the way that book 4 begins, we start in the Stone of Tyr, so it makes sense that we would not have the time jump that we had at season 1 and 2. We would start in Falm with the characters still together before going their separate ways, which means there's going to be some cleanup to do now that Rand controls the city. And that is where I think, and I hope, that Nynaeve and company find Rima and other captured Aes Sedai and other Damane and free them. And I think that it would play well because Rima and Nynaeve and Egwene and the princess of whatever all know that Leandrin is a dark friend now. Oh, Elaine, that was her name. Sorry, Kevin.
Oh my god. I mean, you just lost Kevin as a friend, so I'm sorry.
I know, I'm sorry, Kevin. Rima and the girls, like her bringing them back to the tower, explaining what happened, like that's a good way to get them out of trouble and onto the Black Aja hunting brigade, I guess, and lead into the other season 3 / book 4 stuff. So that is my rationalization and my hope for Rima.
Yeah.
And it's been revealed that Rima's actress is in season 3.
Yes.
Because that's going to go well for everyone.
Wait, what? Oh, I see.
What else do we have? So much.
We can talk about the Forsaken stuff, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, let's talk about Forsaken.
Let's talk about Forsaken. Oh my god.
Samael got name dropped.
So there's only 3 that we don't know the names of.
And Grandal,
yes.
Grandal and Samael, and then of course Moghedien.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you guys have any guess on the remaining 3?
I mean, judging by the statues, we have Asmodean for sure, because guitar. That's it.
Yeah, Asmodean.
That's all I know for sure.
I have a suspicion that Semirhage will show up, that Semirhage is one of them.
I hope, because I think she is so underutilized in the books.
Yes, I agree. Maybe that's more what it is. It's more like wishful thinking on my part. But I also feel like she has an importance later on, but she could have much more of an importance just overall.
Especially now that Ishamael is dead.
Yes.
And we were all thinking that Ishamael was going to take over the Shan plotline.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was, at least.
Mm-hmm.
It was a reasonable thing.
Yeah.
But hopefully we get like torture Semirog.
I'd love it.
Yeah, and it would be great to have like 4 women, 4 men within the Forsaken.
I would hope so.
It would even things out.
I feel like they're going to do like an even kind of split between the two.
I just don't know, besides Demandred, Samael, and Asmodean, what other male Forsaken that, like maybe Ravine, I don't know.
Why did you say what name did you said?
Oh, because Ishamael's dead. That's why.
You said Demandred, Samael, Asmodean, and then you ask who would be the 4th, but that's Ishamael.
Or who'd be the 5th, I mean.
Yeah.
Because some people are...
But there's no 5th.
Some people are saying that there's 5 boys and 3 girls.
Yeah, some people are saying there's 5 boys. Sorry, some people are saying there's 5 men and 3 women, and I'm wondering, other than Ishi, Sammy, Asmodean, and Demandred, who would be the 5th male? And I can't think of someone, because...
If out of the rest of them, probably Ravine, because I think he would have the most to do, but...
I would still rather see Semirog.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think we're gonna spend. I don't think we're gonna spend that much time with Camelin and Ravine. The only thing he does is raping a queen, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's literally his entire plot in the books. He's a rapist, and we can do better.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
We can do better.
Yeah, Asmodean for sure. Like, I feel like that's almost a guarantee at this point that we're getting Asmodean. I would be shocked if we didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're getting Asmodean, especially like it's been teased that Rand needs some serious training, and Asmodean is the most direct source of training that Rand gets in the books in terms of power. So I think it'd be like that.
Also, the statues, there were 4 women and 4 men, so like...
Oh, okay. So...
Okay.
Or 4 that appeared male, 4 that appeared female.
I still think that Lanfear and Semirog hate each other enough where Lanfear would just be catty and not mention her in the scene.
Oh, I think it's... If anything, I think it's probably that Lanfear is a little bit afraid of Semirog because...
Well...
Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe Semirog... Well, no, because Moraine says that Lanfear is the deadliest of the Forsaken. And I'm like, I'm sorry, even Lanfear versus Semirog?
Yeah.
I think Semirog is more deadly.
Yeah.
It could also be the legends.
Lanfear's the most insane.
Did she say deadly or dangerous? Because Lanfear could be more dangerous to the Dragon Reborn because of her relationship to him.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's true.
I was gonna say it depends. I think it's a matter of perspective at that point, because if it's Moraine that's saying it, she's saying, like, she's talking about in relation, I think, to Rand, which is true. Like, she's you know, and you know, we kind of got that impression as well at the end where, like, Moghedien says very clearly, you and to Lanfear, that you and Ishamael you were too close to the dragon, implying that the rest of them do not have that particular hang up.
Well,
yeah,
she literally said the rest of us don't have that failing.
Yes, exactly. Like,
until Asmodean falls in love and teaches Rand how to use swords and stuff.
That's right.
And Logain gets in there and eats him out. Yeah.
Since we mentioned the Forsaken, do you think Ishamael is really dead?
No. Ishamael is not dead. We are going to get Moradin in season 5 or season 6 or season 4. Like, Moradin is coming back.
Yeah.
It will be, it might even be the end of season 3. But we are going to get Moradin specifically, and that'll be the only actual rebirth in the show.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing. I was wondering if we're going to get Faris back, because I would like that. And what they could do is have him shave or change his hair or grow his hair out, lose the beard, change the beard, wear contacts. There's a lot of ways he could change his appearance but still be him, to where it would like signify to the audience is better that, oh, this is the same person it was in the early seasons, but a different incarnation of him. I don't know. That's my preference, but I wouldn't like be angry if they didn't. I just like him as an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think one pro to changing the actor is also means that the viewers are gonna be left in the dark for longer because
Yeah, they won't know who it is.
yeah, we're a fandom that immediately detects who's is filming when. So
Wasn't there something in a recent interview where Rafe was saying that he wants to keep people guessing as to who?
Yes.
Yeah, so that makes sense that it would be a new actor.
It does, yeah. Which is, I mean, it's a shame. But you know what? We could still get flashbacks. So
I think he was talking about this coming season.
Yeah.
He wasn't talking about Ishamael specifically.
It's a theme.
Your theme.
Yeah, it's a theme with the Forsaken in general, where Rafe really wants the viewers to start being afraid that everyone surrounding them could be a Forsaken.
yeah,
I would like that. It would be cool.
you would like that. Oh, you would like that.
We could have the Asmodean reveal in the same way that we had the Lanfear reveal after he and Rand.
After they fuck?
Yeah.
Rand is gonna go through all of the Forsaken.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Rand is going to fuck all of the Forsaken.
Yeah.
Love it.
Except for Moghedien. I can't see it.
I mean, Moghedien certainly is not gonna. I don't think that's her.
She's saving herself for Nynaeve.
She's saving herself for Nynaeve, exactly.
Gosh, talking about Nynaeve and Moghedien.
Oh my god. Yeah.
The thing that I noticed, like when we were doing the non-spoiler part, is when I don't remember exactly what the quote was. It was not a fight, but a warning or something like that.
This is not a threat. This is a warning. And then in season 1, Nynaeve also says, I think, almost the same thing, word for word.
Yeah.
This isn't. It's not a threat. It's a promise, or it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Moghedien say this is not a fight, this is a warning, and Nynaeve say it's not a demand, it's a threat.
Okay.
So it's not exactly the same, but I like the similarity between the two.
There are parallels.
There are parallels. It's just I hope that people, I mean, maybe there are people who haven't read the books who follow me. I'm sure there are, and just don't care about spoilers, because I talk about Moghedien and Nynaeve and how much I love their fucked up dynamic quite a bit on Twitter. Sorry, X on X. But
still sounds like a porn site.
It does. Oh, absolutely it does. I'm very excited to see the beginnings of this, because it's like for poor Nynaeve to go from Leandrin and then to have to deal with Moghedien basically right after. Oh boy. It's yeah, I feel like season 3 is going to be, season 2 was difficult for Nynaeve. I think emotionally, I think season 3 just like is going to be demanding for Nynaeve, because she's going to be hunting the Black Aja. She's going to be having to fend off Moghedien, who becomes weirdly obsessed with her. And
I know, that's going to be hot.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And it's going to be very interesting, because we just went through a season where Nynaeve is afraid and can like powerless. And when faced with Moghedien, she cannot do that. She's not allowed to be weak in that situation. And I think it's going to be a very interesting dynamic, a very interesting character progression for Nynaeve too.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting her block to be solved next season.
No.
But she's going to have to be able to handle channeling a little bit more.
I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Because like, I feel like there has to be some kind of progression, I think, with the block. And so like her figuring out like, okay, if I do it this way, this is what works for me, and realizing like I need to be in this particular state of mind in order for me to channel. That even if there's that level of progression, fine, but it can't stay like this, because I just don't think it's good character writing. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of crack in her block. I think there kind of has to be, but
Yeah, we definitely need a progression because, like, Nynaeve had a change from the beginning of the second season to the end of the second season. She needs a change from the beginning of the third season to the end of the third season. Book-wise, Nynaeve lost a block in book 7, which we would expect to be like season 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
5-ish.
Yeah.
So I could see, like, at least the beginning of resolution for the block. Maybe not a full... My issue with the full resolution is then how does Nynaeve keep progressing along the rest of the season? I mean, I don't know. I know Nynaeve does a lot of things. It's just that outside of her block, I'm not sure she evolves as a character, you know, as in terms of personality, in terms of...
I know, we get to see that in the show.
Yeah.
We get the show to, like, give us extra Nynaeve.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. There's a reason why Nynaeve is not in the last book. Like, she doesn't do much in the last book. Because Sanderson looked at her character arc and was like, well, she's pretty much done.
What else is she going to do? Battle the dark, like, bitch slap Rand and be like, no, I got this.
And you know what? She would. She would try.
I don't agree with him, but it's... Yeah, I want the show to avoid that kind of weakness of the books where a character can have... like some character have an arc that stops way before the end or that doesn't move for a long part of the books. And yeah, something that is a bit...
Just shuffle things around.
Yeah.
That's literally all, just move some things earlier, some things later, and boom, you got it. And also make some things up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's because, like, and it's cool. It's cool. It looks, and it's going to play really, like, Nynaeve, a lot of the big things that Nynaeve does are kind of all clustered together in that sort of middle section of the series.
6 to 9.
Exactly. And those are, like, big things that she does. So if they just sort of shuffle or even like do bits of those things a little bit earlier on in a different way, like it's we've seen that they're pretty good at sort of shifting and shuffling things around in a way that makes sense with the story that they're wanting to tell on screen. And so they can absolutely do it. And I think they kind of have to with characters like Nynaeve and Perrin too, who kind of has like, you know, he has chunks of things to do, and then
Perrin is the worst.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
In terms of character progression, Perrin is like the worst among all of them because his peak is the end of book 4.
Yeah,
and there's like 9 books after that.
Yep. So and the show is already doing a good job with both him and Nynaeve in like sort of moving them along character-wise, and making sure that they're progressing at kind of the same rate as other characters. Not exactly, but you know, close enough, I think.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I understand that they have to slow down some plot lines and they have to speed up some others, and I kind of like it. But I get how it's jarring for people. But that doesn't mean you get to be an asshole.
No, absolutely. That's the thing. And like I am over the narrative that emotional growth is not as valid as like the big flashy moments.
I'm sorry. The fact that Lan didn't kill the gays made me really mad.
Unforgivable. Everyone
knows Lan is homophobic.
Yeah, absolutely he is.
I posted this about character growth on Twitter, and I didn't even mention Sanderson's name. I wasn't even talking about him. I was talking about anybody who was like, you have to have a big boom boom Marvel moment to have character growth. And I wasn't even talking about Sanderson. I really wasn't. But some of his people just came up in my mentions choking on his dick like they were whole hogging it. Like he cares about what you think. And like,
I am very curious about what's happening to your accent right now.
Yeah, me too.
There's a lot going on. It's good.
No, it was you transformed.
It was great.
I'm very tired, and when I'm tired and irritated, I get
No, it's not a criticism.
I get a little southern.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it's good.
At least when you're taking your accent, you're not doing a very ugly French thing like I do.
Le poisson.
Les poissons. I love me some fishes. But no, these people were like, they were parroting Brandon Sanderson's talking points about season 8. I'm like, first of all, Heifer, I wasn't talking about you. So you can just go somewhere else with that nonsense. Second of all, you can catch a block. And third of all, I'm a writer. I know what plot and story and I know all that shit is. I do my homework. I'm not sitting up here on Twitter parroting what my favorite white man author's saying about this or that book or TV show. And he's fine. Like, he has his valid points, but don't parrot his shit at me. Don't come at me like I'm some sort of just rando. I know what I'm talking about. And I'm sick of this, oh, you have to have a Marvel movie moment where all the Avengers come together and like do the Avengers Assemble thing or it's not real character growth. Like, fuck off with that shit. Just fuck off with it. I'm over it.
I mean, there's a reason why the Marvel movie are a bit boring.
I'm over Marvel.
They're also commercially hugely successful, but yes, I understand.
Yes.
So let's talk about anything else.
Yeah, I have a bunch of things. Since we mentioned Lanfear, she asked Rand to close his eyes so he doesn't see traveling.
Which doesn't make sense to me because he can't see her weaves, but okay.
Maybe she thinks he could.
Yeah, but you could see, for example, the portal.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, okay, look, Rand is dumb as fuck, but he's not that dumb.
Him, though.
Yeah, I feel like if you can see the manifestation of how the power manifests in order to do that traveling thing, even without seeing the weave, that could give you an indication of how things work.
I think so too. I think that makes sense.
Isn't that kind of what happened with Rand actually learned traveling? Isn't it like...
Oh, I don't remember.
Someone like Avienda maybe telling him how she did for the igloo? No, she doesn't remember what she did to get to the igloo. I don't know, but like...
I genuinely don't remember. Yeah. It sounds right. But I also, I mean, yeah.
I just thought that, I mean... I like that we know traveling is possible, but our main character don't know it yet, and I just can't wait for that to happen at some point.
Yeah.
So
the world literally opens up to all of them once that becomes a thing, and people can just go any old place. I can't wait.
I actually really hope that they do it. I mean, it was kind of like doled out differently in the books, like Elaine or Egwene and her camp could do it all before Elida and everything, but I think it should be more, I don't know.
Selective?
More selective. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun when people don't know things.
Yeah.
I
don't know things all the time, and everyone makes fun of me for it.
And you're a lot of fun.
And there we go. I'm excited for Egwene and Nynaeve and Elaine figuring out shit and figuring out all of the different weaves and all of the different, like, just the different things that society has forgotten and the Aes Sedai have forgotten, and them being like, did y'all know that we can do this? This is a thing that can happen.
Like, that's the thing. In the books, the Aes Sedai are just like, well, it's lost.
That's
it's gone. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
And then you have Elaine over here being this little, like, gnome artificer. And
so
just like like literally.
That's absolutely that is absolutely who she would play. If Nynaeve was playing D&D, she would be a gnome artificer. Absolutely.
Elaine, not Nynaeve.
I said Elaine.
No, you said Nynaeve.
No, you didn't, girl.
Okay. Well,
the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Oh no!
It makes me laugh that you mentioned the gnome artificer, because I was like, they need a research brainstorming session, and yeah.
I'm just saying, you put them in a locked room with some Red Bull and an Angreal, they're world saved.
Oh
Done.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's what they'd really like. All they needed was time. They just needed more time. And they would have figured so much shit out. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Elaine is going to keep figuring shit out because she has, like in the book, she has rooms of artifacts to dig into.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
She's going to come out like just tinkering with shit. Like there's going to be grease on her face. We don't know why. It's not like she's working with like mechanical stuff. She just,
because Sapphic.
It's the look.
Just no reason for it.
I can't wait to like thirst for the STEM woman she's going to be.
Yeah, that's right. Women in STEM.
Elaine, STEM queen.
STEM
Yep.
queen. Oh, yes. STEM queen.
Talking about Elaine and Rand meeting.
They had their meet cute.
That was so...
Listen, I have a non-reader friend, and she watched that episode, and she was like, she's very much into Rand and Egwene. And she saw that, and she was like, what the fuck? What is that kind of lighting? Who is that Elaine girl? What is she doing to my boy?
I just don't understand. I'm like, why didn't you just straddle his face at that point?
She didn't do anything. It's Rand who's like, oh, who are you? And she's far away from him.
She's... yeah. No. I think Rand just needed to be resuscitated. Resuscitated.
Resuscitated.
That's a new one.
Ouch.
Yeah. Kat is disconnected for a moment, so I'll put their point next on here about Elaine and Avienda meeting next season. They have to.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have to. It's the question of whether or not Min is in the picture at that time.
Yeah. Oh, I want them to meet so much.
Oh, no.
What else? I have a bunch of tiny things that we can go through.
I have notes on a few of your tiny things, and then I have one big thing.
So the Aes Sedai came to help and then failed, and nobody knows about it. And it's the same story than with Malkir, and it made me a little bit sad. I thought it was a touch. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of... Probably that's why the tower gets such a bad rep, because it's not that, like, they're going to be like, hey, we're sending a party out, because then people are going to go kill them. People don't like the Aes Sedai. So yeah, they have to do it in secret.
Yeah. And then people blame them for not being there.
Yeah.
Next thing, we got some prophecies this season. I'm just curious about what other prophecy we'll get next.
Yeah. No, I'm curious as to... I like how the prophecies are being woven into the show, because they're not so fucking, like... in the books, they just felt overwhelming, I think. And it focused a lot on the prophecies and the execution of them, whereas in the show, it's just like... Oh, okay, cool. I guess this is how that works out. Like, bannered across the sky. Moraine's like, oh, LOL, that's me. And it's not like, make sure he has the banner, because that's the thing. In the books, Moiraine was the one that was like, no, you're going to pack this banner in your saddlebags. So, Moiraine was involved.
Yeah, true. And yeah, like in the books, so the thing, the books, the prophecy, we get them a lot, like... We are gonna get a bunch of text at the end of, like at the beginning of the book or at the end of the book, and then people are gonna like put them together and whatever. And like in the show, it feels like we're probably gonna get a one or two sentence every once in a while, and that's gonna be it, and that's gonna be enough. And I'm fine with that. I don't need like to read an essay that is a full long prophecy.
Yeah, I like the smaller ones.
Yeah. I had a few things I saw about the Sunshines. Do we think Suros is dead?
No.
We didn't see Bodhi, so she's not dead.
Yep.
When will the Sunshines come back? Season 4, season 5, season 6? In a while, but they're gonna come. We didn't see Aghanim, which too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. The Soldam don't know anything about them being able to channel, which I kind of don't mind. Because in the books, the frustrating thing is that they have the opportunity to learn about it very early on, and then that secret is kept for books and books and books.
Right.
And when it finally gets revealed, it does nothing.
Yeah.
So
it is a little disappointing. So hopefully it works out in the show. Like, I think it would be weird if Egwene just discovered this and was like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Keeping it to myself.
I had, what did I had? Daemon always get dumped by women in Fame. In the books.
Yeah.
In the books, it's Nynaeve and Elaine planning to live with him. And here it's like Lanfear planning to give him something. And in both cases, just waiting at the port, like at the harbor, and be like, I'm waiting. So I just love that. Did we mention the stupid sword fight in the first part with Turag?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I did, maybe.
I think other than to say, like, we didn't, it's fine that it didn't happen.
It's
like,
good
yeah.
that it didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Ugly ass.
Glad it didn't happen. We did not have the time for it.
I just loved how they just quickly yeeted it. It was amazing to me.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Also, tiny thing, like I like that we got kind of the creation of Massema the Prophet. That like people will look back at in a few seasons and be like, oh, that's that weird dude. It's very much a nod / beginning of something. Same thing with the heron mark on the blade. Like Rand got branded.
Yeah, that wasn't mentioned at all. Yeah, that prophecy hasn't been mentioned at all yet. So it's nice that they just kind of like did it.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not sure if we're gonna get Massima as the prophet. I think it could be something that could easily be cut.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Maybe.
They made a point of showing his reaction to.
They did.
So I wouldn't be mad if they cut it, but I feel like they wouldn't have if the intention wasn't to do that particular plot line.
So the thing is that sometimes intentions change with the season.
Yeah.
So maybe that shot was just there. Okay, if we get the time later on to do that prophet plot line, then we have the setup for it. But if it end up being cut, then it'll just be a shot among many other.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I would be very fine with that.
Yeah, I think there's always like potential to do something interesting with that plot line.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And I think my last thing was people talking about the horn being lost again, which I like because Amaretsu take it and then it disappear. My guess is that it's going to be found at the beginning of the third season.
She's just keeping it in her coochie till Matt needs it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, did y'all see where she put it? She put it up in there.
She threw it behind her.
The safest of pockets. Yes.
Exactly.
No.
The safest
No.
of pockets.
What?
Absolutely not.
What?
Really?
Sins against our Lord.
What?
So much for being sex positive and coochie positive.
The only other note I had was I love how Dane and Perrin are set up, because in the books it was Pat and Fane being like, well, we're going to go to the True Rivers and fuck some shit up. And now it's going to be Dane, and he's going to have a good fucking reason for doing it. And it's going to be great. And that's what I loved. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, do you think he's going to go just because he knows the person is from the True River and he wants to learn about his family, and that's going to be it? And then there's going to be...
He does not want to learn about his family. He wants to find him and punish him.
Yeah, but like, why would Perrin be back in the True River?
I think Dane's assumption is, well, I don't have anything else to go off of, so I might as well stay here because he's probably going to come back eventually. And if not, then he's going to hear about the fact that I'm fucking with his family members.
I don't know, Dane didn't strike me as the type of person who would just like kill innocent people just to get Perrin.
No, not necessarily. I don't think he's gonna like kill people. I think he's gonna like make their lives hell.
I think maybe they'll combine Pat and Fane and Slayer. That could be cool.
Yeah.
I hope they cut Slayer. Slayer's so dumb.
I mean, I wouldn't care about that either, but I'm just saying, like, I still think Fane is gonna. I still think Dark Friends are gonna attack Two Rivers. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Trollocs, you mean?
Yeah, Trollocs and Pat and Fane. I don't know.
Trollocs and the True River, definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
I can see Dane convincing himself that because of what Perrin, like still coming onto the same track of like Perrin being a dark friend, hence there are dark friends in the Two Rivers. Like I can see him convincing himself into that, but it really just being about revenge for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see that.
Could Dane be someone that gets corrupted by fate?
Yeah, absolutely, because Pat and Fane does infiltrate the White Cloaks at one point, so...
He is primed for it. Yeah.
During the True River plot, he is in the True River and he's the one who brings the Trollocs and is part of the White Cloaks there, so... Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited for that plot line, and I didn't care about it in the books. I know people loved it, but...
I'm looking forward to all the plot lines in season 3 because I don't have to read them.
Do we have anything else?
Nope.
No?
I don't think so.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Queers of Time podcast. You can find us on Patreon if you want to give us some money. Otherwise, we're on Discord. Our Discord was just reorganized, so there's lots of cool stuff, and it's more show-friendly. We're also on Twitter and Instagram and all of the other places that you can find us. If you search for that Gay Wheel of Time podcast, that's us. Cool. Bye.
Okay. That was quick.
Speed running?
Speed reading. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you for listening.
Goodbye. Have a good morning.
Thank you all for listening. This was Queers of Time, a Wheel of Time podcast. The music is Dance of the Witches by Julius H.